I feel very fortunate that I'm able to work with you on this project, and I'm grateful that you contacted me so we could put this whole project together, particularly because, you know, you have unique experience underground. How many years have you been working as an underground miner?
Over 40.
Right, and you've done every job from mucker at the face to mine superintendent, right?
Yeah, as the years went on.
And you're even a mine inspector, right?
Yes, for 12 years, state mine inspector.
Wow. Now, and you and Nevada Rand has rehabilitated the Great Western here, so check things out down to 500 foot and 600 foot level.
In the process of we're evaluating what it's going to take to rehab the mine for future production. It hasn't been rehabilitated yet.
Right, but it's safe to go down.
Yes.
Great, maybe we should go.
All right.
Okay, well today we're going to go down from the surface in the Great Western Vein down to the 200 level. 200 level is where they got most of the production from in the past history of the mine here, both from the eastern ore chutes and the western ore chutes. The chutes are dipping out to the east, gently down both directions, raking out to the east. As you can see here, vast underexplored area. This is the current drill target for the current drill operations right now. And then after we finish the 200 level, we'll move down to the 500 level, which they did not do any production on, but they got it ready to go. It's a very impressive level. So
why did they shoot it down so deep?
They advanced the mine down to 1,000 feet, or just shy of 1,000 feet, just to get ready to go so they can keep production going.
So here we are, 200 foot level. I think he's going to be a while coming down. Why don't we take a look and see?
Sounds good. Let's go.
You can see the drifts on each of the levels. They follow this fault along the drift, and what they're using is the hanging wall of the fault. You see how clean the back it breaks off. Very little dilution through the vein, which would be right through here. Continues all this way. See how nice and smooth the wall is.
How big were the skips they used here?
Well, this is mine cars here. This is very light rail, so I wouldn't say it's over a half ton, maybe 3/4 ton car. They didn't have mucking machines.
So Ben, what the hell is this?
These are what you call day boxes. That's where they would have stored their explosives in the early days. Still done pretty much the same way today. You take a day's worth of explosives are brought down to the heading. It's stored separately, and you'll see the boosters and everything are put into the, well, they didn't use boosters, but blasting caps and fuse would have been in the smaller box, and then stick powder in the bigger box.
So they had no problem storing caps by powder down here?
Well, in those days, their rules were a little laxer than today. Today, they need to be at least 50 feet apart, so, and away from the main station.
Looks like we're heading west, and it looks like the fault, now we're looking at that footwall of the fault right here. So this is in the main fault. This looks pretty juicy. Did you guys sample this?
This sample in 1980s returned about 1.4 ounces gold coming from that sample in here itself. We've sampled nearby and got pretty high grade as well, 10 grams.
So you have ore right in the main secondary or later stage fault right here.
We do have ore followed. This is the main fault, the drifts followed, and we have ore in the hanging wall of that fault for about another 50 meters behind us. We're in the westernmost ore chute.
So what you're saying, Matt, is that there's not just one vein here, but there's a series of them, some along the main fault, maybe some in the footwall and some in the hanging wall?
Absolutely. We've identified at least 3 others so far.
So this might be a lot wider than just a single little vein.
I think we have more than just one vein, definitely.
Down on the 500 foot level, and the shaft still looks in great shape, and I can see it's still following the footwall of that fault, but boy, there are a lot of workings off of this way here. What's going on?
There sure are, Mike. What happened? They drifted off 40 feet into the hanging wall and they found another vein. And that's one of our richest veins so far that we found.
Look at the development they did here. Remember on the upper levels, we were looking at little 8 and 12 pound rail. Here they put in 30-pound rail. The Grizzly up above was 12-pound rail. You got 90-pound rail here. Headings are a lot bigger. They were planning some big production off of this level. But as you can see, they never got it fully developed. The rails end right there, and both ways they end at a short distance.
All right, down looking to the east here, you see the beautiful exposure of the vein up in there, heading out to the east. This drift here continued down about 400 feet. It's the lowest level of development that they pushed out to the east. So the eastern chute never continued past this level, and there's almost no exploration to the east following that chute down in that direction. That's one of our drill targets for this year, is to test that.
While we're underground, this would be a great time to take a closer look at the mineralization at Gold Point. Gold and silver are hosted in quartz veins and stringers found in faults and shear zones. The veins appear to be clustered around and branch from central faults or shears. We've seen this along both the Great Western and Townside Orleans systems. The veins are typically 1 to 2 meters wide, but we've seen stopes up to 10 meters wide at the Great Western mine. The veins have been mined from surface down to over 1,000 vertical feet and are open at depth in both systems. In the Great Western mine, gold-bearing quartz veins are found in both the master fault and the secondary veins. In detail, the quartz veins are medium to coarse grained and carry pyrite, galena, and occasional chalcopyrite as disseminated grains or in clots. Most of the veins are oxidized, however, and these hematitic fractures can be great indicators of good gold grades underground. Near surface, silver is locally enriched to chlorargyrite or horn silver, but in general, gold grades increase and silver to gold ratios decrease with depth. Cutoff grades for underground mining at Gold Point were about 16 grams per ton gold, so the mineralization we're seeing can be fairly characterized as high grade. The veins are ribbon textured, interleaved and enclosed in well-indurated gouge. The gouge is silicified, hematitic, and it contains limonite and goethite, showing clear shear textures. Here are some silicon lines, for example. The veins show no characteristic epithermal textures, but instead appear to be either mesothermal or intrusion-related in character. The geochemical signature includes variably elevated tungsten, bismuth, moly, and lead, which also suggests mesothermal or intrusion-related mineralization. This is good news since both of these styles of mineralization can persist to great depth. Well, that's about it. Let's rejoin the underground tour.
See, even an old fat guy can do it.